Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? How you doing? How you been? I missed you, besties. Hey. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. Took a couple of weeks off on creating videos, but I haven't done a live stream since my friend was here visiting me for my half birthday. Shalonda, if you're watching this, hey girl, hey. Haven't done a live stream since you. So I'm a little rough around the edges. But hey y'all, I miss you. And my channel has grown a lot since my last live stream. I think when Shalonda was here, I had maybe 4,000 subscribers. And now I have over 12,000 new financial besties. Hey, hey, welcome to the new financial besties. How you doing? How you been? But I decided to go live today or tonight. Good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am in Bali, Indonesia, so it is morning for me. But I decided to go live today because many of you have been asking about my cost of living, what it costs me to move to Bali, Indonesia, what it costs me to live here every month. So now that I've been here for a little over 3 months, I feel like I've collected enough data to be able to share realistically what my expenses are like, what my real expenses were moving here, getting settled in. And now that I feel a little settled, not completely, but now that I'm a little settled, my expenses are kind of stabilizing a little bit and I can see what I'm spending every month. So now I'm ready to share it. I was going to do a pre-recorded video, but I was like, you know what? I ain't seen my friends live in a minute. So let me go live to share this new information that they've been asking me about. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I hope that's okay with you. Is that all right? Is that all right with you? Put some money babies in the chat to let me know you're here live. Let me know how you're feeling. If you're feeling real good, put a whole bunch of money babies in the chat. If you're here, I appreciate you. But if you ain't feeling that good, just give me like 1 or 2 money babies. Put some money babies in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. And if you are watching the replay, hey girl, hey, to you too. I appreciate you. Leave a comment in the chat. In the comments when you watch the replay, just to let me know that you're here. Comment replay game, and I'll swing back through and say hey to you too. For those that are new to my channel, the new subscribers, the new financial besties, the new channel members, I appreciate all of you. My name is Malika. I am the founder of Fabulous Financials, my coaching company, and I'm an investor and a money coach. I primarily help Black women learn how to navigate the stock market and invest with confidence so they can build a portfolio to create passive income and live whatever they love. Most of my clients are professionals still in the workforce, and our main objective is to get you free so you can leave that raggedy job, so you can stop hustling and grinding for money, or so you can just become work optional and choose to continue working if that's what you want to do, but you have the option and the freedom to quit whenever you want. And that's pretty much what I did. I was on the FIRE track. For those in the FIRE community, financial independence, retire early. I reached FIRE in my early 40s, but I didn't leave my job until 47. There is something about that in-between phase. Once you are on the track to financial freedom and you know you have the money to quit, but your mind is not there yet, so you're not quite ready to quit, there's still benefits in that in between phase because it changes how you show up at work. It changes how you exist in the world. Because guess what? If I want to take some time off, it's not a request. I'm just letting you know. Don't check me, boo. If I get tired of coming to these 8 o'clock in the morning meetings, I'm not coming today. Who gonna check me, boo? So when you have the freedom, the option of working or not, but you still choose to work, that's a beautiful position to be in because you still maintain that recurring income in order to do other things that you want to do, accomplish other goals, help your family members, pay for luxurious trips, and you still have the security of knowing that income is coming in. But on the other hand, you still have the option to know I can blow this joint whenever I want to. I can say peace out whenever I feel like it. And that's the phase I was in between about 42 and 47. And around 47, that was shortly after the pandemic. That was shortly after the tale of he who shall not be named, his first term. I knew I couldn't do it anymore. So I decided to exercise my right because I had the option. I decided to exercise my right to leave the workforce and I retired early at 47. So now I help other Black women do the same and it brings me so much joy. I love, love, love what I choose to do in my free time. But I moved to Bali, Indonesia about 3 months ago. I landed exactly on May 5th, 2025. And it is now what, August, here in Bali is August 16th, Saturday morning, August 16th. So I've been here for 3 months. And I wanted to share what the financial expenses have been like. So if what I've shared so far is of interest to you, if you are a Black woman who is tired of hustle culture and ready to establish a financial plan, align your money with the freedom that you desire, don't hit that like button. If anyone else is watching, even if you have no desire to retire early, that's okay too, girl. That's all right. Still go hit that like button. If talking about money is of interest to you, still go hit that like button. I welcome you all. I welcome you all. Everything isn't always about strategy. A lot of my content is also about joy and the things I love that money can buy. So for those who say money can't buy happiness, they lie. Because right now, I'm real happy. And I couldn't do what I do if I didn't have the money to pay for it. But hit that like button to make sure the algorithm knows that you enjoyed this video, so it will share with other people like us who might enjoy it too. And subscribe to my channel so that when I go live again or when I post one of my regular videos about personal finance, investing, financial independence, you will never miss a video because you will be subscribed to my channel. And go ahead and turn on that notification bell too, so YouTube can notify you when I do publish a new video. But welcome, welcome to all of my financial besties, the OGs and the new ones. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for being here. So let me say hello to my besties because I have not engaged with you all live in a long time. I miss you all so very much. Let me say hi to my OG friends. What's up, Eileen Brown? Channel member, financial bestie, got the custom money babies. I see you, even though StreamYard is a hater and won't let me see your custom emojis on my screen, but they show up on YouTube. I see them on YouTube. I got my YouTube screen open too, so I can see you over here. What other channel members are in the house? One of the channel members in the house with the custom money babies. Yes, Fleur de Lis living. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? How you been? Let's see. Shalonda, another channel member. Hey girl, hey. How you doing? How you been? I love to see the money babies, and I appreciate you for using the survivor emoji too. What I did not mention is that I am also a breast cancer survivor. I am also a breast cancer survivor. God be the glory. That isn't what this video is about, but it's a big part of my story. Sometimes I go into more details in certain videos than others, but I was diagnosed with the most aggressive form of breast cancer, the most aggressive subtype. And God, with all of his love for me, while I was traveling, gallivanting around the world, he led me to Malaysia to have a comprehensive health screening that detected the cancer so early, it was barely large enough to show up on the imaging. But they saw something that didn't look right. So we did more imaging and more imaging. And I got a second opinion and a third opinion. And it was confirmed each time. A small mass that hadn't even formed into the tumor yet. It was detected so early. Malaysia saved my life. It's one of the reasons I love Southeast Asia so much. So for those who worry about healthcare, oh, I can't leave the United States because I need healthcare. Girl, the quality of the healthcare is just as good, if not better, abroad, and is significantly less expensive. So early detection saves lives. Early detection saves lives. I had surgery in Malaysia, had the cancer removed, returned back home to the United States for my treatment, went through chemo, went through radiation. And once I got the all clear from my doctors, given permission to move about the world, that's when I moved to Bali, Indonesia, for what I call my year of healing. My year of healing. I completed chemotherapy in January of this year. So I am on my year of healing, and Bali has been a blessing to me. I had my 6-month follow-up in Malaysia last month, and I'm still in the clear. There's no evidence of disease in my body. God is so good. God is so good. So yes, I am a breast cancer survivor. If I have any pink sisters in the community, in the live chat, or watching the replay, leave a comment to let me know so I can shout you out. I love all of my pink sisters. We are in this together. You do not have to fight alone. And for any of my sisters that have not had their mammograms, that are delaying their mammograms, that are putting it off because you're too busy, especially if you're putting it off because you're too busy because of a job. Girl, get them biddies checked. Get your girls checked out. And if you have dense breasts, make sure you get an ultrasound too, because the tumor will not show up on the mammogram if your breasts are considered dense. So please, please, please put your health first. Make yourself a priority over any raggedy job, because health is our wealth. It's the first form of wealth that we can maintain. Money is secondary to me. Health is my number one priority. Money is secondary to me. So me moving to Bali was more about my health, mentally, physically, as well as spiritually. So that is one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm on my year of healing. And it's been an interesting, very interesting experience so far. Let's see. Any other channel members? I want to shout out my channel members first. Hello, Miss Deborah. How you doing? How you been? Thank you so much. I see your comment about my hair. Thank you so much. It's growing back in an interesting way. You know, during chemotherapy, I lost all of my hair. Some of you that may have watched some of my older videos saw that I had locks, and you're now probably wondering why she cut off her locks. Because I was going through cancer treatment, and now my hair is flourishing, it's growing back, and it looks completely different than it did before the cancer treatment. So now I'm just letting it do what it do, keeping it clean, keeping it moisturized, and letting it do what it do. I might keep it low. I don't think I'm going to let it grow out. I do like this length. So if it starts getting a little out of control, I'm probably going to find a barbershop to keep it trimmed, for me. Now let me say hello to my other besties that are not channel members. Hello, hello. Have a nice day. How you doing? How you been? What's your name? I appreciate your channel name, but what's your real name? I want to be able to connect with my besties. Hey, Tanya Brooks. How you doing, Tanya Brooks? Tanya Brooks is always first in the house. I don't know how I missed you. Tanya, sorry about that. You deserve your props every single time because you are always the first to show up for my live streams. I appreciate you so much, Tanya. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. Crap, my mouse is not letting me scroll smoothly. Brown skin girl. Hey, girl, hey. I love your name. How you doing? How you been? Miss Courtney. Hey, girl, hey. How you doing? How you been? Let's see, Miss Gail. What's up, my friend? Miss Gail, how you doing? How you been? I have a video with Miss Gail on my channel. She talked about her financial journey. I have a video with Shalonda on my channel. If you all are new followers, new subscribers, and you want to hear about other women's financial journey, other women that has been in my coaching program, other women that has taken my course or attended one of the workshops that I've done, all of those videos with the testimonials and receipts are on my channel. So check out the playlist that I've organized for you. But they are all on my channel. What's up, Chanel? How you doing? How you been? Thank you, Miss Gail. Hello, Miss Helena Martin. That's a new name. Welcome. I appreciate all of my financial besties. How are you? From Perth. Where is Perth? Is that Australia? Is it daytime for you two right now? I know you're not far from Bali. Is that Australia? Look, my geography a little weak. Let me know. Tanya said she had her mammogram in July. Praise God. Praise God. I'm glad you did. Hello, Venus Kirby. How you doing? How you been? How you doing? How you been? Venus is another OG besties that's been around from the beginning of my channel. Venus said you had a mammogram and ultrasound in June, July too. Awesome. I pray that all is well with you and have a nice day. You said your name is Janice. Hello, Janice. If it's okay, I would love to be able to call you by your name. Said you're a huge fan. Thank you for what you do, and I can't wait to work with you. Oh, I can't wait to work with you too. Awesome. I think I said hello to everyone. If I didn't, as usual, charge it to my mind and not my heart. I appreciate you so much for being here. And again, if you're watching the replay, comment replay game so I can say hello to you too. Anyway, let's get into the topic of the day. Living in Bali, I've been here for 3 months now, as I mentioned. What it cost me so far. I got receipts. I got some stories to tell. And I got to be honest, I've had a few challenges along the way too. And I'll share everything that I've experienced so far. If you are planning to visit Bali, if you are thinking about living in Bali, if this has been on your bucket list or a scouting destination for you, I hope my video will be helpful in giving you some insight into what you can expect here in Bali. I want to go ahead and put it out up front before we even get started with the details. I know a lot of content creators on YouTube and all over social media, they tout Bali as this really cheap destination. It's like a digital nomad hub. It's so hilarious to me going to a cafe or going to a restaurant or any type of public space, and you just see a flood of all of these creators and digital nomads capturing content, and hilarious. It's funny to me because you could spot them a mile away. So there are a lot of digital nomads here. There's a very, very large Black expat community here too. In fact, the Facebook group and the WhatsApp group chat, the name of it is Black in Bali. So if you're interested in joining that, that's what you can search online, Black in Bali, if you want to connect with the Black community here. But a lot of people tout Bali as this cheap destination. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are some things that are very, very inexpensive here. But Bali is not dirt cheap. It can be, but you have to consider your comfort level and your standard of living and the quality of life that you want. So this video is not about Bali being dirt cheap. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't gonna front. Bali is not cheap based on the standards that most creators communicate online. I'm flipping that myth. I'm going to be honest and transparent about what I spend based on my standard of living and my quality of life. And the numbers that I share may surprise you. But again, this is my standard of living based on my quality of life. Can you live in Bali for super duper cheap? Absolutely. I have a online friend here, girl I met online through the Black in Bali group. She lives here in Bali and spends about $1,200 a month. What I pay to live is more than what she spends in a whole month. What I pay to live in my housing is more than what she spends in a whole month. But I'll get to that in a minute. So yes, you can live in Bali super duper cheap, but consider your quality of life, your preferences, your comfort, your standard of living. So this is what I spent in Bali, the cost of moving here and the cost of maintaining a comfortable standard of living as I've settled in over the past 3 months. So first things first, and I'm going to be looking down at my phone because this is where I wrote all of my notes and I don't want to forget anything. If I say anything that you need me to explain or you have a question about, feel free to leave a comment in the live chat. Or if you're watching a replay, leave a comment, leave your question in the comments. But in the live chat, put a Q in front of it. And as I go through everything I want to share, I'm going to go back to the live chat and I'll look for the cues and I'll answer your questions. All right, cool. So my 3 months living in Bali, this is what it cost me. Starting with getting here. First things first is a visa. If you're planning to move abroad and you're planning to stay abroad long term, you want to consider your visa options first. I already have a separate video on the countries that I considered and all of the long-term visa options that are available in that country. So I won't go into the details of my visa here in Bali because you can find that in the other video. It's under the playlist, Creating a Life Abroad. That's where I share everything that I've done from the planning phase all the way up to getting here. So this video now is what I've spent getting here and settling in. So for my visa, I have a 1-year visa. And the reason why I chose a 1-year visa, because I'm only committed to stay here for 1 year for my year of healing. If I love it, I will renew the visa and switch to a different type of visa that allows me to stay for 10 years. But I did not want to commit to that 10-year visa until I knew for sure that Bali is the place I wanted to consider my long-term home, Right now, it's kind of like my midterm home. So I'm only committed for 1 year. So I have a 1 year visa. I did not do the paperwork myself. I hired an agent to assist me. Um, the cost of my 1 year visa was 7 million rupiah, and that's equivalent to about $420. That gives me the legal right to live here in Bali for 1 year. I do not have a work permit, so I'm not allowed to do any work here in Bali. But I do have the legal right to live here in Bali for 1 year. It's also a business visa, so I'm allowed to scout out business opportunities, um, opportunities to establish a new business, to partner with another Balinese in business. So I have been interacting with the locals and trying to get a sense of what it will be like if I wanted to live here permanently and establish a business here. So I don't do any work, but I can do business scouting on my business visa. But the visa cost me $420. After I got the visa, I booked a one-way flight. I booked a one-way flight. When I fly more than 6 hours, I fly first class, either first class or business class. The way my back is set up, the way my body's set up, I'm 50 years old. I cannot, I cannot do economy. I cannot be cramped in a little tight seat for a long time. I cannot have strangers falling asleep and leaning their head on my shoulder. I can't do it. I can't do it. The flight to Bali is minimum from the East Coast in the United States, 24 hours. 24 hours. I'm not flying that long in economy. So, my very, very favorite airline when I'm flying from the United States to Southeast Asia is Qatar Airways. And I love Qatar Airways because I love their business class Q suite. I have not experienced an airline with a business class seat that feels like its own cabin. The Q suite has a door that you can close, so it's completely private, and it also has a lay flat bed. So when you fly in the Q suite, in the cabin, there's probably 6 to 8 suites, and on one side of the plane is a flight attendant that's dedicated to maybe the 3 to 4 suites on this side, and there's a completely different flight attendant for the travelers in the suites on the other side. So you get more individual attention. They provide exceptional service to meet your needs. You get to eat whenever you want to. The rest of the plane has a certain schedule to eat. The way you can order your food is whenever you're hungry. Um, Whenever you're ready to shower and change into your pajamas, the flight attendant will provide that for you. Whenever you're ready to lay down, the flight attendant will make your bed. So there are a lot of comforts that are provided on the Qatar Airways Q Suite flight. And I love that because when I land here in Bali or anywhere in Southeast Asia, I'm not exhausted. I'm not achy. I'm not swollen. My skin isn't dry. I land feeling refreshed, like I just woke up in the morning. So to me, it's worth the cost of flying business class. The only other airlines that I would consider flying if a Q suite on Qatar Airways was not available is Singapore Airlines and also Emirates. That's the Dubai Airlines. Between Emirates First Class, Singapore First Class, and Qatar Airways Q Suite, it's like the top 3 airlines in the world. But Qatar will always be my first choice. Second would be either Emirates or Singapore. And if you're in my private Facebook group where we're talking about the Bali meetup in December for my birthday, I shared all of the details for those who are monitoring flights and looking for flights. to Bali. But my one-way flight to Bali on Qatar Airways and the Q Suite was $3,350. You can get a round trip flight for about $7,000 in the Q Suite. It also includes the private lounge access. When you fly business class or first class, you go through a completely different entrance in the airport. You are seated in a completely different lounge waiting for your flight. You don't have to buy any expensive airport food because all of the food and the snacks and the drinks, the alcohol, the wine, the champagne, all the things that you can possibly think of, it's already provided for you. It is included in the cost. You usually board the flight first, you exit the flight first. Your bags are tagged as priority, so your bags come off the flight first. So there are lots of perks and benefits of flying first class. And with my health issues, which is the main reason why I fly business and first class, it just makes it easier for me to fly. I do have to wear a sleeve on my arm in order to minimize swelling, because when you have a mastectomy and you have lymph nodes removed, it does impact your lymphatic system, and it does affect the body's ability to be able to release fluid. So I wear a sleeve when I fly. I need to make sure that I can elevate my legs, lay down flat, relax, and to be rested. So the comfort is for reasons that are more than like vanity and luxury. It's for my health. And it's worth the cost to me because of all of the benefits that it entails. Now, so it was my one-way flight, about $3,400. And the last thing I spent money on that was part of my move just to get here was an Airbnb. I booked an Airbnb for 1 month because when I landed, I didn't want to have to worry about anything for a while. And I booked it for a whole month because I wanted to feel like I lived here immediately. I didn't want to have to worry about, oh, in a week, I need to be able to go find a place. I need to start hunting for a place to live. So I just wanted to have a soft landing, to be able to put my bags down, to be able to unpack, to be able to relax, exhale, and realize I live in Bali now. So I booked an Airbnb for 1 month. The Airbnb that I chose was a private villa that had basically all these standard things that I was looking for. I wanted very tall ceilings, natural light. I wanted all of the amenities. I wanted the service and the support. And of course, I wanted an Airbnb that had a proven history of providing all of those things without complaint. So the Airbnb had really, really good reviews, and I paid $2,700 for 1 month in the Airbnb. So the total cost of moving abroad, getting here in Bali, my visa, my one-way flight, and my Airbnb, I paid $6,470. And that was just to get here. My first month in Bali, I pretty much didn't do anything. I didn't do much of anything unless it was health related. I did a lot of praying and meditating. I would walk to the beach every day. Praying is when you're talking to God. Meditating is when you're listening to God. But that was part of my routine every morning. If you move abroad, I think it's very, very important for you to establish a routine as quickly as possible. And that will help you to get acclimated to your new environment. And walking to the beach every day to pray and meditate every morning was part of my routine that helped me to feel the environment, that helped me to interact with the people that I would see doing the same thing every morning. And I started seeing some of the same familiar faces. And then after I would leave to the beach, I would go to this one particular cafe that is now one of my favorite cafes here in Bali. And they now know my name and they know exactly what I like to eat. They know my allergies and everything. So the first month, I was just focused on my body, my spirituality, and just connecting with the environment. Um, and then, and then, y'all, when I started looking for a permanent home or long-term home, I'm planning to be here for 1 year, didn't want to do the Airbnb thing indefinitely, especially not paying $2,700 a month. I did love the place that I was in. I really, really liked it, but I didn't want to pay $2,700 a month for it. So I started looking for my own place. And this is when I got a swift reality check. Woo child. It is hard trying to find a home that you love in a foreign country. And I think it's hard for two reasons. Might be more than two, but these are the two that come to mind. Number one, when you move abroad, you still have your home mentality. You still have your home expectations. So you will look for things that give you the same comfort of home. The flip side of that is you subconsciously resist adapting to what's normal in your new environment. And if this doesn't apply to you, it's okay. I'm telling my truth. And you may be able to relate when it's your turn to move abroad. Or if you're currently in the process of moving abroad, you may be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I think my challenge was twofold. Wanting the comforts based on the standard of living I was accustomed to in the United States, and also subconsciously resisting what is normal here in Bali. And what I mean by that is Bali is has a tropical climate. It's an island. Bali's culture is also very green, which is what I love. But a tropical climate and green comes with things that I don't love. And we talked about that a little bit already in the other video about my first 30 days in Bali. So I won't go into the details here. But I found that a lot of housing, it was normal to have like an open kitchen, like your kitchen outside, or an open bathroom, the shower outside. I don't want to take a shower and have to fight spiders and geckos and all kinds of critters while I'm trying to enjoy my shower. I don't want to have to go into the kitchen trying to pour me a cup of tea and ants are in my mug. I don't want that. I think I am slowly starting to understand what homes are like here in Bali, but I'm not there yet. So, because of these thoughts, because of this resistance, because of the comforts that I was used to in the United States and what I was looking for, it made it very difficult for me to find a home that I wanted, a place where I wanted to lay my head to be comfortable. I did not want an open air home. The vast majority of what you find in Bali, there is some part of the home that's open air. So that eliminated a lot of things for me. I also wanted somewhat modern amenities. That, of course, made it more limiting. So a lot of what I was seeing, it just didn't meet my needs, and I was rejecting it, not realizing the subconscious limitation that I had that was making it difficult. So I was getting frustrated with my search. So once I started adjusting my expectations, I still don't want an open air kitchen and an open bathroom. But once I started adjusting my expectations, I went to look for a place again. And the second challenge that I experienced was when you're looking at these homes, I was finding them online, either in Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, and then I also hired a real estate agent. I worked with two real estate agents. And what I was finding is the pictures are beautiful. The pictures are absolutely amazing. They would make me excited. I would say, yes, I want to see it. Girl, I would get to the villa or the condo or the townhouse, and it would look nothing like the pictures. Either they zoomed out and had a round lens that made it look bigger than what it really was, and all it was a little matchbox, or the pictures were when the place was first built probably 10 years ago, and now it's all dusty and dirty and grungy and rusty looking. I told my agent, I said, these owners be catfishing. So it was a challenge for me to find a home. So I ended up booking an Airbnb again, a different Airbnb, just to give myself time to think, time to breathe. And not having the stability of where you want to call home, it creates stress. I'm just going to call it what it is. It's stressful. And that's the exact opposite of why I'm here. So I needed to immediately eliminate the stress. So I booked another Airbnb for another month. And that was the month of my half birthday when Shalonda came to visit. Rested for a little while, decided to try my search again with the same standard of living that I wanted, the same quality I wanted, but adjusting my expectations to what's normal here in Bali. Before I started searching again, I realized that I was creating a lot of my own frustration because of my expectations. I realized that I was limiting myself because I wasn't really adapting to this beautiful country that I claim I wanted to live in, but I wasn't accepting the country in its totality. It's like I wanted to piecemeal the parts that I liked, but I didn't want to accept it for what it was. And once I realized my flaw, once I realized how I was contributing to my frustration and my own stress, I had to pray about it. I went to God and I asked God to release me from my unrealistic expectations. I also asked God for confirmation. Is this where you want me to be? Because I started questioning that too. Is this where you want me to be? I truly feel like God led me here for my year of healing. And I asked him to confirm for me, is this really where you want me to be? Because it feels hard. I have not found a place to call home. It feels hard and stressful. I told God that I submit to his will. If this is not where he wants me to be, to release me from it and allow me to go. But if this is where he wants me to be, I ask God to release me from my unrealistic expectations, if they were truly unrealistic. I ask God to allow me to see what he wanted me to see so that I can find comfort in a place to call home. After I prayed, I went out with the agent again. It probably took 3-4 outings, and each time we were looking at 4 and 5 different villas. One other thing I want to make clear. What a lot of people choose when they move to Bali, especially the people that are claiming Bali is very, very cheap, they usually choose to live in what's called a guest house, either a guest house or a homestay. And that is essentially like a hotel room. It has a bed, it has a desk, it has a TV, it has a private bathroom, and it may have a little mini kitchenette. The pool is shared, the kitchen is shared. The kitchen is usually outside too. Everything else is shared. I personally didn't want to live in a guest house or a homestay. I wanted a private home. I wanted my own private villa or my own private townhouse. Um, so, just with that preference alone, my expenses would be more than what you normally hear people talk about on social media. But went out with the agent again after my prayer, and I started seeing the homes differently, and I started seeing more of what was available. And I also gave her more wiggle room with my price. And one of the things that she helped me to understand was what I was looking for is available, but it's limited right now because this is peak travel season in Bali. With so many foreigners from the West, from the US, from Europe, and foreigners from Australia visiting during peak season, we all have similar tastes and similar standards of living. So, what I'm looking for is already occupied. She told me if I waited until shoulder season, like after the peak season ended, or waited until low season, the inventory would open up. That would be exactly what I was looking for. She said, I know what you're looking for. I know what you want. It's just the inventory is limited right now. And then even the inventory that was available, the prices were so ridiculous because the owners know that the foreigners are willing to pay it. And she told me, because you are going to live here long term, I don't want you to lock into that price and pay that price long term because it's overpriced. So she was very honest with me, and I appreciated that. And it also helped me to adjust my expectations. Um, and I was no longer frustrated during my search because I understood why it was hard to find what I was looking for. Um, the second thing was the things that I found available that met my standards, met my needs, had indoor kitchen, indoor bathroom, modern, that balance my need for comfort and also embracing the Bali culture were not private villas. They were more like condos. And I decided to compromise, at least for now, while it's still peak season, and choose that happy median in between. So, while I don't have the private villa that I want, that's modern, but also captures the Bali design and culture, I kind of compromised in the middle, getting both, but in a condo instead. And that's where I am now. So this place is very beautiful. I'm looking at my view that I think that my view is kind of like partially in the thumbnail of this video. It's beautiful. The service is exceptional. Um, it's indoors. Everything is enclosed. It's clean. It's modern. There are no bugs, no creepy crawlies. I shouldn't say no bugs. There are bugs like little beetles. Every now and then I'll see a spider, but I have not seen the main thing that freaks me out. I have not seen any geckos. I have not seen any geckos inside or outside. And I realized why. They sent a text to all of the residents a couple of days ago informing us that they were going to do fogging. So I guess every couple of weeks they fog the outdoors all around the community, and that help to minimize the creepy crawlies. And I appreciate that. And now I can see why, I can understand why I haven't seen any, because of the measures that they take to minimize that. But this property, of course, is catered to foreigners. They know what we like. So I like it for now, but it's still not what I want because I still want a private villa. But I understand that I need to wait until peak season, peak travel season is over, and then I'll have a better chance of finding exactly what I'm looking for. So with that said, I was in an Airbnb for 2 months, but I have found my temporary home that is not ridiculously priced with all the fees of Airbnb. So now I can get into my monthly expenses. I had to tell that backstory of my challenges just so that you're aware. If you choose to move to Bali, you're gonna have to manage your expectations. You're gonna have to learn to adapt to what's normal here in Bali and find a happy median between what you want your standard of living in the United States and what's available here in Bali. Understand that during peak season, inventory is low and prices are high. If you are here long enough and you have the time to wait until peak season is over, which is around, I was told, beginning of September, middle of September. And then it peaks again a little bit around December, January for the holidays. But the main peak travel season in Bali is during the summer months between June through August, which is the time that I came here. So I was not aware of that. So lesson learned. But I have been released of my unrealistic expectations. I have been released of my frustration, and I have found a place that feels very, very comfortable for me to consider my home. At least until peak season is over, then I'll start searching again, and hopefully I will find my private villa. But with that said, my monthly housing expenses, where I am staying now, it costs 30 million rupiah per month. And that is about 1857, 1,857 USD. Again, keep in mind, it's peak season. Also, number two, where I'm living caters to foreigners. So this isn't the typical Balinese home. I'm sure I can get my private villa for even less than what I'm paying for this right now during off-peak season. But right now I'm paying $30 million. It includes everything though. So in my opinion, it's still worth it. It includes everything. It's fully furnished. It includes daily cleaning. It includes all the linens, all the supplies, toilet paper, they change the sheets twice a week. They clean my place every day. It includes electricity. It includes water. It includes gas. I have a gas stove. And that's another thing. This place is unlike the typical Bali home because you're not going to see a stove and an oven in a typical Bali home. I have a stove, I have an oven, I have a microwave, I have a wine rack. Like this place was created for foreigners, but it includes everything. It was fully furnished, daily cleaning, linen change twice a week. It includes all the personal supplies. It includes electricity, water, gas. There's a pool. I have a private entryway to the pool. It also includes a co-working space. If I decide I don't want to work here in my place, I can, go to the co-working space. Includes the Wi-Fi. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it includes everything. So I pay one price, 1857. That covers everything. I do no cleaning. I don't have to buy anything except my personal preference things, like my lotion, my soap, moisturizer, the personal things that I want. It includes everything. My laundry is even done. Now, the price doesn't include laundry, but they do the laundry. So I let them know when I want laundry done. They come to my door, they pick up whatever I give them. I don't know if they do it themselves or if they send it off to be done, but they bring my laundry back. It's clean, it smells good, it's ironed, and it's folded. They deliver it back to my door. I do pay an additional cost for the laundry. For a month, I've had laundry done 4 times. I have paid $9.66. They pick up, they wash. It's washed in filtered water. They dry, they iron, they fold, and they bring it back to me. For a month, I have spent $9.66 on laundry. The other monthly expense that I have is food. I eat out a lot. I eat out a lot because the food is so fresh, it's healthy, it tastes good. There are lots of variety, lots of options. The time, the effort it would take for me to go to the grocery store, to choose the ingredients, to come back home, to cook it, to prepare the meal, which is just one meal, and then I have to cook again for another meal. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, I do go to the grocery store for my favorite staples. Like, I always have a watermelon in the fridge. I always have mangosteen. I always have snake fruit, which I'm about to eat right now. This is what I'm about to have for breakfast. I haven't had my breakfast yet, but I love snake fruit. So I always have my favorite fruits, my favorite staples. Like sometimes I eat yogurt and granola and things like that. So I'll go to the market to get some of my favorite staples. But for the most part, 95% of the time, I'm eating out. And the places that I choose to eat out, I know that their food is healthy, the ingredients are healthy, or they give me options where I can choose a healthier ingredient. I know when I get anything that is fried, like a fried egg, or let's say I want some fried chicken, the oil that they use is coconut oil. So it's not a seed oil. It's not any of the oils that cause inflammation. So I'm very selective about where I choose to eat. And the food is good. So it saves me time and it's flavorful. It gives me the nourishment that I want and it's affordable. So why cook when you can have somebody else do all the heavy lifting for you? So that's my perspective of it. So I mainly eat out. And in a month, I spend about $400 a month on food. And when I say I mainly eat out, I eat out, I want to say every day, sometimes twice a day. So in addition to eating out every day, mostly every day, sometimes twice a day, and going to the market to get my staple fruits and the other little staple small things that I like to eat, I spend about $400 USD a month on food. If I did not eat out, I don't know if it will be any cheaper because I know that I will probably be drawn to markets that sell Western foods, and the Western foods that are imported are more expensive. I know that I would probably be drawn to less healthy foods, things that are faster to prepare. I know me, I know my habits. So I would probably spend more if I went to the market and prepared my own food at home. So I prefer to eat out. It's cheaper, it's healthier, it's more variety, it's flavorful, and I like it. I like not having to do anything that I don't want to do. And it costs me about $400 a month. And the last monthly expense that I have, actually two more monthly expenses that I have. One is transportation. The transportation is ridiculously inexpensive. Like, I have to ask is this right? I can call a car or a bike to go take me down to the beach, cafe, a market, to meet one of my friends somewhere, and it'll cost me like 59 cents. Like a car will cost like maybe $1.50, but if I get on a bike, it'll be like 59 cents. And the ride will be like 15, 20 minutes. Is it right? Girl, it's been 3 months. It's right. My transportation costs on average has been about $37 a month. $37 a month. And I call a Grab. A Grab and Gojek is the equivalent of Uber in the United States. Uber and Lyft. I call a Grab everywhere I go. Everywhere. And I spend on average $37 a month on transportation. A lot of expats that live here, they eventually get a bike, get their own motorbike. I think you can probably rent a motorbike that includes the gas and the maintenance for about $50 a month. I guess the benefits of having the motorbike is having the freedom to get up and go whenever you want. You don't have to call a car or call a bike and wait for them to come. But the downside of that is you got to first of all, you got to learn how to drive it. You got to worry about getting the maintenance done, and you got to worry about going to fill up the gas, and you got to worry about finding parking. So I don't see myself getting my own bike anytime soon. I think if after a year, if I do decide Bali is where I want to stay long term, and I do end up getting that longer term visa, I might consider getting my own bike then. I have been eyeing a few that I like. Of course, they're pink. But for right now, this first year, I don't see myself getting a bike. I have no problem calling Grab or Gojek. And I spend on average less than $40 a month on transportation. And my last monthly expenses, my last monthly expense is for my phone. So I do still have my US number, but I also have an eSIM in my same US phone. So my US number still works, but then I have an eSIM that gives me a local number and an eSIM where I can use the local network. So I'm not paying ridiculous prices from my US provider. And the eSIM that I use costs me $27 a month. I get 5G access, and it lasts me for about a whole month. Sometimes it'll go over to the next month. I won't have to re-up until the next month. But on average, it's cost me about $27. It may end up being lower than that. And the only reason why I estimated at $27 is because I did change the eSIM to a global eSIM when I went to Malaysia, because I didn't want to forget to re-up my Bali one, and then I get to Malaysia and I didn't want to be without access. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get a global one for now so it can work no matter where I am. But if I only get a Bali specific, Indonesia specific eSIM, it's probably like $15. But for right now, since I've been using the global one, it does cost a little more. So I've been paying about $27. But I expect that to go down. So in total, my recurring monthly expenses, my housing, my food, my transportation, my laundry, and my phone is $2,330 a month. $2,330 a month. And since I've been paying that for about 2 months, I calculate $4,660 a month. Because at the end, I'm going to tell you what my total costs have been to move to Bali and to get completely settled in. But my monthly recurring expenses are about $2,330 a month just for living. My other expenses are my healthcare and wellness. So for my health insurance, I pay $450 a month for health insurance. That is global health insurance anywhere in the world. I'm sure there's Indonesia specific health insurance, but I haven't taken the time to look into that. And again, because I'm only committed to be here for 1 year, I'm not even considering it yet. I prefer to have the global health insurance so that I'm covered everywhere in the world. I also still maintain my US health insurance because of my unique medical needs. I want to cover all my bases, and I don't want there to be any reason to go anywhere in the world and not have access to medical care. My medical needs may be different from most people that watch my channel. So I'm the type of person, I want to dot every I, cross every T, and don't leave anything open to happenstance. So I do have global health insurance, and I still maintain my health insurance in the United States. Those two combined, I pay $450 a month for health insurance. And for wellness, since I've been here in Bali, which is my whole reason for being here in Bali, I pay on average, I've been paying about $480 a month for wellness. What does that include? It includes my lymphatic massages. I get a lymphatic massage every week, every Sunday. As I mentioned, I've had surgery, I've had lymph nodes removed. Because I've had lymph nodes removed, my lymphatic system does not drain naturally like the average healthy person. So I need to do certain things to my body so that fluid does not build up and so that I don't develop lymphedema. So I get a lymphatic drainage massage every week. I also get what's called assisting stretching support. So because of the surgery, I do get very stiff in my shoulders, mainly on the left-hand side, the surgical side, my shoulders, and then the breast area where I had the radiation. When you have radiation, you can develop what's called cording. Basically, imagine like leaving anything out in the sun, being exposed to UV rays, and eventually over time, it will shrink and tighten, right? So once you've had radiation, your body, the radiated area will do the same thing. So I need to be able to stretch to keep my body as flexible as possible. So I hire someone to come to my home to do assistant stretching. And I need assistance because if I stretch on my own, I'm going to stop when it gets uncomfortable. I am not going to push myself to stretch beyond my comfort zone. As soon as I feel any resistance, I'm going to stop. I'm like, oh, this is not comfortable. So I pay someone to come to my home to help me stretch. And that girl, she be having me twisted up like a pretzel. And I am able to stretch and do things that I didn't know I would be able to do. So I love it. She's worth the price. They do have a studio that I could go to that will be cheaper, but I prefer the private session and I prefer when she comes to my home. So I pay for the assistant stretching. I also pay for Pilates. I have a Pilates membership that allows 10 sessions a month. I think it's about 10 sessions a month because I only go to Pilates like twice a week. Sometimes, depending on how I feel, I might go 3 times. But I go to Pilates twice a week. So I'm learning how to move on the reformer machine. I'm, doing a little bit of stretching in Pilates, but also focusing on like strength building because I lost a lot of strength in my left side. Again, because I was overcompensating, protecting myself, not using this side as much, overcompensating with the right-hand side. After the surgery, the typical weaknesses that you develop after the surgery. So Pilates is helping me to strengthen that weakness. Then the assistant stretching is helping me to stretch out my body after Pilates, helping me to reduce the cording as a result of the radiation. Then the lymphatic massages help to release the fluid buildup so that I can drain properly. I've had a dental appointment. I had the cleaning done. I had a consultation for braces. I'm thinking about getting braces again. I had Invisalign before, and my teeth was just perfectly straight. But during the pandemic, because of the stress, I stopped wearing my retainer, and then my bottom teeth started shifting again. And now, if I put that retainer in, my head will feel like fire because it hurts so bad. So I just completely ditched the retainer, and my teeth have shifted. So I've been thinking about if I wanted to get braces again. So I saw a dentist to have my regular biannual exam and the cleaning and the consultation for braces. So I may get the braces put on, and then I've seen a doctor twice because I wanted to establish a relationship with a doctor here. I did a video for my channel members with the details of that, so I won't go into detail here. But if you're a channel member, that experience is on the members only video for you. So I do have a doctor. I have a dentist. Go to Pilates, get assisted stretching, and get lymphatic massages, and the total combined for all of that. And the treatments that I get from the doctor that also is helping me with some of the limitations I have. I pay about $480 a month for that. So my total health and wellness expenses per month is $930 per month. And I've been doing that since I've been here for the whole 3 months. So that's about $2,790. And my last category of expenses that I consider extras. Extras are the giving that I've been doing here locally, little minor shopping, socializing. The first month I didn't socialize at all. Now I'm slowly re-entering the world of social life. So I've been getting out a little bit, connecting with friends, and then also tourist activities. So there's so much about Bali, so much about Indonesia that I have not seen. So I live here, but I'm still a tourist. So over the past 3 months, with the extras, I have spent about $1,400 in expenses on extras. So the grand total for moving here and getting settled in and finally feeling like Bali is home over the past 3 months, I have spent $15,320. The actual recurring portion, my housing and all of my health and wellness, is $3,300 per month. Is that what you expected? Let me know what you think about that. Is that what you would think it would cost to live in Bali? What do you think? What do you think about that? I do prioritize my health and wellness. I do not try to live the bare minimum life just to get by. My home is part of my health and wellness because I need to be physically at ease and mentally at ease. When I crawl into that bed with those beautiful white sheets and that comfortable cushiony mattress and those 4 pillows, and I get out after I already had my shower, and I crawl in that bed and I can get under the covers and just feel peace. And don't have to worry about any creepy crawlies. Don't have to worry about sleeping on a hard box mattress. Don't have to worry about the thin 200 ply sheets. Having quality linens, soft mattress, cushiony pillows when I sleep at night. It is worth every dime that I pay. When I walk into my kitchen to see these marble top counters, to go to the kettle and push a button so I can make my tea. Having a fridge, full-size fridge, not the little teeny tiny short one, not the little dorm room size, full-size fridge. Having an oven and a stove to cook if I wanted to, even though I don't cook. Having the option to choose if I wanted to. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Having a view of all the green space, the water. I'll show you my view. Having this beautiful view when I walk into my living space. I don't know, it's so sunny. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's so bright. Yeah, you can't see it. It's too bright. But I have a private walkout to the pool area. I also have seating. I have a couch outside with a table there. And then I also have a table, chairs, and a couch there. All of that is my private outdoor space. So for all of my comforts that meet my standard of living, that meet my quality of living, and all of my wellness and healthcare, I pay about $3,330 per month, recurring. But in total, to move to Bali, to get settled in, the light has adjusted. To move to Bali, to get settled in, over the past 3 months, I have spent $15,320. And here's why I wanted to share this with you. Why it's too bright, making it dark. Okay, yeah, when I close the curtain. Here's why I wanted to share this number with you. Because when you decide you want to move abroad, there are a lot of creators that always talk about how cheap it is to live in whatever country, whatever city they're living in. And that may be true. But I want you to filter it through your own lens. Do they live the way I want to live? Do they have the same standard of living that I have? Will I be comfortable the way they live? And do I have additional needs that they don't have? So if they say they live in Mexico, they live in Thailand, they live in Bali, and they only spend $1,500 a month, I don't want you to assume that's what it's going to cost you too. You need to filter it through your own standards and your own personal needs. The second thing, the reason why I share my expenses with you, because I hesitated to share, because I was like, you're gonna be like, girl, you're paying too much. But the other reason why I wanted to share this with you is because even if my monthly expenses were lower, my recurrent expenses were lower, there's still a substantial cost to moving and getting settled in to a new country. My total cost of moving and getting settled in over the past 3 months is over $15,000. And I haven't even rented a long-term place yet. Where I'm staying right now, another reason why it's premium price is because they allow you to pay on a monthly basis. Most homes, most rentals in Bali, especially private villas, the owner wants you to pay the entire lease up front. And especially in order to get a better price, you have to pay up front. So if I were lucky enough and found my private villa that I was looking for, I won't say lucky, it just wasn't my time. When I find the private villa that I'm looking for, when I start looking again after peak season is over, when I find it, that owner is going to want to know how long I plan to stay there. If I say 6 months or 1 year, that owner is going to want the entire amount up front. The entire amount up front. So that is going to require you to have the money for two. If you're not going to pay the entire amount up front, you're going to be paying a premium if you're only paying monthly. And that's if you want a private villa. If you do the guest houses and the homestays, those are monthly. But again, those are like, to me, that's like living in a box. Or like living in a hotel. You got a bed and a bathroom and a desk. If you want an actual home, when you rent it, the owner is going to want the full payment, the full commitment up front. A lot of expats that live here in Bali, or I should say immigrants, the ones who have decided to call Bali home long term, they usually do what's called, I think it's called like a leasehold. The sun is adjusting. That's why the lighting is changing. I think they do what's called like a leasehold. And some people will rent their villa for like 10 years, 20 years, and they will pay the full 10-year commitment up front. That's normal here in Bali. So even if you move somewhere that's affordable, think about the total cost that it's going to take for you to settle in. Don't wrap your mind around, I only pay $1,500 a month, or I rent a $500 condo in Thailand, and you're going to be living in a matchbox. If you are a homeowner in the United States and you got a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house, you are not going to go from a 3-bedroom house to a matchbox. And if you do, you're not going to be comfortable. So think about your true quality, your true standard of living, what makes you comfortable and what makes you happy. Right? So when I do find my villa, I have this idea in mind. God has planted it in my mind. When I do find it, I'm going to find it. I'm going to have to pay upfront the full 6-month or 1-year commitment. So that will also be another large amount of money that I will have to put out. But for now, I'm comfortable where I am. I'm going to stay here for a little while, at least until peak season is over. And my recurring expenses are about $3,300 per month. I'm going to share one more thing, and then I'll look at questions that you asked. The most unexpected thing I experienced since I've been here is because I think I had on rose-colored glasses. Not I think, I did. I had on rose-colored glasses because what made me fall in love with Bali is how safe it is and how kind the people are. So I was shocked when I was working with one of the realtors and we went to see one of the villas that I was considering renting. And of all the villas that I've seen so far, it was my favorite, and I was this close to committing. I was shocked to find that I was too naive. I had let down my armor too much. The realtor told me that the rent for that private villa was 26 million per month, 26 million rupiah per month. 26 million. The price is really not that important, but I'll tell you what 26 million is about 1,600 per month. And the realtor told me that the owner wanted 3 months in advance and wanted me to pay 3 months at a time. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I need about $5,000 to move in. All right. I was willing to consider it in my mind, also knowing I was going to negotiate. Everything is negotiable here in Bali. Everything is negotiable. If you're uncomfortable negotiating, you're going to pay too much every time. I'm a trained negotiator. I'm a federally trained negotiator. So that's what I do. It's in my blood. It comes naturally to me. So in my mind, I'm thinking 2,600. I want to pay 20. I get there, and it just so happened the owner was there. The owner was there, and I think installing the Wi-Fi. It was brand new, brand spanking new. The owner was installing the Wi-Fi, and the realtor was shocked that the owner was there. So instead of talking to the realtor as the third party in between, I had the opportunity to talk directly to the owner. So as I'm talking to the owner, letting them know, what my expectations were, what he could add to the property that will make me comfortable. He's like all with it. He was like, oh, yeah, you could be a great tenant, blah, blah, blah. Where you from? Blah, blah, blah. We just chit chatting. At the end of the conversation, after we agreed to all the things, and he goes, yeah, so I charged 22 million for this place, but I have another place next door that I charged 20 million for. The realtor, the first realtor that I fired, I said, 22? His whole face turned red. I said, how do you require the payments? And he said, oh, we can do month to month. But if you would like to pay in advance, we can probably negotiate a better price. That realtor told me the owner charged 26 million and required 3 months in advance. The owner is telling me out of his own mouth that he only charged 22 million and would do a month to month, and he had another property that was 20. When I tell you, I had a flood of emotions. Some of this was my own naivety. It's like I released my armor, assuming that everyone in Bali was kind, that everyone was community focused and welcoming, and they wanted to help you. That experience showed me that people will try to get over on you everywhere. And that realtor was padding a $6 million, not dollar, a 6 million rupiah profit for himself, for themselves, 6 million. 6 million is $371. And then told me that the owner required 3 months in advance. So if I paid 3 months in advance, that's 18 million rupiah, $1,114. That was more than what the owner was charging, that realtor would have walked away with. When I tell you I was flabbergasted, that was a reminder. Malika, you're in a safe place and the people were kind, but don't you ever forget the skills that you have, your discernment that you have, and the common sense that you have. I don't care where you are in the world. I don't care how kind the people are. I don't care how safe it is. And then this was further validated. I was in the equivalent of an Uber, a Grab car. And the guy was like, oh, where are you from? The driver, oh, where are you from? Typical questions they ask. I'm from America. Oh, what brings you here to Bali? I was like, I love it here. I love the people. The people are so kind. And, he was just, listening to me, seeing my enthusiasm. And he looked at me in the rearview mirror. And he said, he couldn't say it in English, but he said it in the translator app. And he was saying a whole lot. I was like, Lord, what is he saying? And then he showed me his phone so I can read it. And he said, I love that you love my country. He said, but be careful. There are bad people everywhere. When I tell you, I said, God, I thank you. And I thank you. I thank you for the protection. Because had I rented any of the villas that I was looking at when I was looking for them, had I found what I was looking for, I would have been caught up in probably a scam. I would have been taken advantage of. I would have been paying way too much. And I would have been dealing with a dishonest realtor. So sometimes when things seem too hard, when you get frustrated because things are not working out, God is protecting you from something that you don't know anything about. God blocked every villa that I looked at with that realtor. He blocked everything. And when I prayed to be released from my frustration, he started exposing what was causing my frustration. He started helping me to understand why I was frustrated. He helped to change my perspective of the situation so it will remove the frustration. And then he helped me to see what he was protecting me from. So it wasn't a no. It wasn't a this is not where I want you to be. It was this is not how I want you to get it. So stay here for now. I got something better. I just need you to wait. So, besties, when I say that I am here in Bali for my year of healing, and when I say that God led me here, see what I mean? I'm not leaving. This is where I'm supposed to be. And even through things I don't understand, he is leading me and protecting me. Even through the murky waters that I have no knowledge of, no experience with, he is leading me and still protecting me. So, do I still love Bali? Absolutely. Do I still think the majority of the people are kind? Absolutely. Just yesterday, there was the little beetles that I was talking about. It was on the window. I thought it was inside, but it was actually on the other side. And I saw it when I went to pull the curtain back because I have some white sheer curtains. And it scared me because it was black. Sent the text message. Oh, the where I live is 24/7 service provided. Sent the text message. I said, there's a bug. Can you please come get it? It's big and it freaked me out. Can you please come right away? Somebody was knocking on my door within like 2 minutes. And I was so ashamed when the bug was outside and not inside. They looked at me like, I'm sure they're probably used to it though. They're probably like, them darn Americans, darn foreigners. That's what I pay for. Protect me. But he did move it. He did move it. And then he had out my patio cleaned, and they mopped and swept and mopped and everything. But it was fine. But I share all that to say the majority of the people here in Bali are extremely kind. But as the driver told me, there are bad people everywhere. So wherever you go, the United States prepared us for the worst. Wherever you go, to rest, to relax, to exhale, do that. But don't forget the ingrained skills that you have. Don't take off all of your armor completely. Use your discernment, use your common sense, and don't allow anyone to take advantage of you, no matter where you are in the world. Now I'm going to look at your questions, look at your comments. No, I said a whole lot. Feel free to ask me anything about Bali, about moving abroad, about any of my experiences, healthcare. I'll be going back to Malaysia every 4 to 6 months for my follow up with my doctor in Malaysia. I'm hungry now, so I'm peeling a snake fruit. It really looks like snake skin, doesn't it? Look at that. But these are so good. I love them. But yeah, any questions you have, let me know. I'm going to go through the comments and look at your questions now. You've been on for quite a while. That's all right, though. Haven't hung with my besties in a while, so I had a lot to share. Had a lot to update you on. But was this helpful? Whether you're planning to move to Bali or any other country in the world, I hope my experience was helpful for you. Let me know if this was helpful. Snake fruit is like, so it looks like this with the skin. It's called salak. The Indonesian word is salak. Salak. And this is how it looks peeled. And it kind of tastes like an apple to me. Kind of tastes like an apple. So I peel it. And then dip it in a little water. It has a little seed on the inside. See, the seed. It's hollow. There's a seed on the inside, and the seed falls out very easily. Little tiny seed. And then you can eat all of this. It's really good. High in fiber. Eat a lot of fruit. Eat a lot of local fruit. The only thing that's not local, I'm sure it's locally grown, but it's worldwide, that I eat is watermelon. I love watermelon. If I'm not eating watermelon, I'm drinking watermelon juice. But I do eat a lot of local foods, local fruits. I mean, learning more and more about the local stuff every day. All right, let me scroll up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Helena answered me. She's in Perth, is Western Australia. Visited Bali in June. She wished she knew I was here. Hey, PR. Mm-hmm. And that says she thought Bali was expensive. Shalonda said the 24-hour flight was brutal. No, girl. That's why I fly first class or business class. I can't. 24 hours is too much. Exactly, Tanya. She said because of her back and her knee, the way my back is set up, y'all, I've had so many surgeries. I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through. The way my back is set up, ain't nowhere in the world I'm flying in economy on a 24-hour flight. Absolutely not. Okay, I see a cue. Can you please share how you chose the agency or folks who connected you to your villa landlord? I'm not in a villa yet. I don't have a private landlord yet, but I do work with a real estate agent. I had two. I was working with two. The one that helped to ground my expectations and gave me insight into the pricing and what's considered peak season and when to start looking and the best neighborhoods. The one I actually liked. I found her. Someone recommended her in the group chat. The WhatsApp group chat. And she also, I think she has listings on Facebook. So there are a lot of Facebook groups for housing in Bali. Let me see, some of the Facebook groups that I'm in are the ones that I find most useful for what I'm looking for are let me see. Rent a villa in Barawa, Umales, and Pererenan. Those are the three neighborhoods that I like. That's the name of the Facebook group. Oh, I'm about to save this one right here. I just logged in. And this one that just showed up is nice. I like that. Oh, crap. My cleaners are here. Another one I like is Bali Rental Villas. Okay, hold on one second. My cleaners are here. Yeah. Yeah, those are my cleaners. Bali monthly rental villas. So I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups with the neighborhood name that I like or the word monthly rental villa in them. But I found this actual realtor through the WhatsApp group, the Bali WhatsApp group. But I do not have a landlord yet. The property that I'm in is like a corporate owned property. Sean, I'm a female. I'm new here. I've been in the back for 16 minutes, but oh my God, modern amenities needs, please. I had to react because absolutely we need to be. I don't understand your comment, Sean. Need to be. I don't know. Chanel said, good tip. Malika putting up game tonight. Acceptance is the answer to all of our problems. Absolutely, Fleur de Lis. Looking for cues. What was your Airbnb monthly, or did you have to bail? The Airbnb that I stayed in when I first got to Bali was $2,700 per month. It was nice. I would recommend it if someone asked me for a nice Airbnb to stay in. I would recommend it, but it was $2,700 per month, and it was right near the beach. It was like a maybe 5-minute walk to the beach, and it was in a quiet area away from all the traffic and the hustle and bustle in the touristy area. But it's close enough to it where you can hop on a bike and get to the noise if you wanted to find it. Really isn't bad, but I know you can get something lower during low season. Yeah, Tanya, I can definitely get something during low season. Looking for cues. Looking for cues. Look, only PR had questions. Let's see. How scary was riding on the back of a scooter? Riding on the back of a scooter now is not scary at all. I can hop on the back, not hold on. I can have my camera out, taking video, pictures. I post video and pictures for my channel members. I share a lot of behind the scenes stuff with my channel members. But now it's not scary at all. But at first, in the beginning, I felt like I was holding on for dear life. I see Shalonda responded to you. Shalonda said she cried. I made her ride on a bike. Actually, I didn't make her ride on a bike. She volunteered to ride on the bike because of where we were going. And yeah, my poor friend said she cried. But my first time riding on a bike, I held on to that driver so close. I was all up on his back. He was trying to tell me to back up off of him, and I didn't understand. I was holding on tight because I was scared. I was holding on so tight. That man had to pull over. He had to pull over. He got off his bike and pointed to where he wanted me to sit. He said, here, you sit here. Basically, get up off of me so I could drive. My first experience was hilarious. It was scary. But now, I hop on the bike like it's no problem. Especially if it's a short ride. I don't know if I would do a long ride, like 30 minutes or more on a bike. And if it's raining, I'm definitely not getting on the bike. I'd rather call a car. I got caught in the rain on the bike one time before, and I didn't have my poncho. Thankfully, the driver had a poncho, so he let me use his poncho. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm
Can
good.
I wash?
Yes, please wash. Looking for cues. I know. Oh, you love the outdoor area. Thank you, Tanya. Yolanda, 3,300. Girl, I pay 4,800 in the US. Shalonda, you funny. She said I pay 4,800 in the US. I have to do my own laundry, cook my own food. And the only stretching I'm doing is stretching on my couch. That's right. I know that's right. So yeah, what I pay includes everything. I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, that I don't like to do. I ain't cooking. I ain't cleaning. I'm doing nothing. Look, friends here, washing dishes. Got some more in the bedroom, making up my bed. I love getting into a fresh, clean bed, crisp sheet every night. I love it. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. Yes, it does include all of my health and wellness. The 3,000 does include all of my health and wellness activities. Chanel has a Q. For Bali and the other places you have rented, can you please talk about how to make sure you are renting from locals? Do you just state that preference to the agent? This is a very, very good question, Chanel. First, I'll be honest. I do not state that as a preference, that I want to make sure I'm renting from locals. I often don't know who owns the property. In major tourist areas, I can tell you a lot of the property is probably owned by foreigners. I don't have that as a preference, but I commend you if that's one of your preferences. I can't say I've done that. The one that I was considering, it just so happened that I met the owner, but even that owner wasn't a local. He was a foreigner, but I think he was from Ukraine. There are a lot of owners here that are foreigners and from other countries, because they know Bali is like a hot spot and it's profitable for them. When I was in Mexico, the apartment that I rented, it was owned by a Mexican person, but the owner wasn't local in the city that I was in. The owner relied on the agent to play the middle person for him, and he lived like way on the other side of the country. So I don't have any experience. Can you fill that up for me? Can you give me more? Yeah, can you give me more Kleenex, please? Thank you so much. I don't have any experience making sure that I'm renting from locals. I think that's important though, and it's something that I may consider in the future, because I know one of the concerns across the world is foreigners moving to their country and gentrifying their neighborhoods and making it unlivable for them, because of course we have more income and we're ignorant to what things are supposed to cost. So we tend to compare the cost to what we would pay in the United States. And if it's less, we think it's a good deal. But it's probably still way overpriced for a local. But if you have too many foreigners paying inflated prices, then it does gentrify the area and raise prices to the point where the locals can't afford it. So I don't think there's anything that we can do about that as renters, because the owners are the ones setting the price. But I think it's a decent balance if we're at least renting from a local so that we're at least contributing to the local economy and the household of a local owner. It's a decent median for gentrifying their neighborhoods. I think the best alternative is not to gentrify, but if the owner is going to price gouge, knowing that you're a foreigner, what? Thank you so much. What can we do about it? So it's an interesting dilemma, and I do want to make sure that I'm not creating problems for locals. And if there's a better alternative to limit those problems, I'm open to considering that approach. So thank you for this question and planting the seed, because it's something that I hadn't considered before in terms of making that one of my preferences, making sure I'm renting from a local. So although I can't answer, I still appreciate your question. It helped me out. Ah, yes, Helena. Negotiating is even better when you speak the language. And that reminds me. So I do have local friends, a very good local friend. I call her my Bali sister. If you watch any of my Bali videos, you've probably seen her in quite a few of them. She was initially trying to help me find a place, and she was speaking to the owners for me. And I'm sure she would have been helping me negotiate also. But she lives in Ubud, and she wanted me to come to Ubud. She wanted me to live in Ubud. But that's what I was explaining. Most of the villas in Ubud have that open air space, the open kitchen, the open bathroom. It's more traditional Bali homes that I wasn't comfortable with. So it's one of the reasons why I chose not to live in Ubud. But if I was in Ubud, I would probably have a villa by now. My Bali sister would have helped me find one, and she would have helped negotiate the price. But because of where I prefer to live, that has the balance that I need for now, I might end up in Ubud one day. But because of where I prefer to live, based on my preferences, it's pretty far from where she lives. So I wasn't going to expect her to make the trek every time I wanted to look for a home. And she did the best she could from where she was. And when I start looking again, once I choose a home and narrow down my choice and start negotiating, I may ask her to help me. But yes, that's trash. Yes, that's trash. Thank you so much. She may help me once I narrow down my choices. But yeah, knowing the language helps you negotiate even better. But if you don't know the language, knowing a local that can do it for you is a better plan B than not negotiating at all. We'll certainly agree with that. Which, by the way, one of the expenses I am going to add is some language classes. I've decided that I do want to learn Bahasa. I do want to learn. Even if I only stay here for a year, I do want to learn Bahasa. Yeah. Isn't God good? He is always protecting me, even when I don't even know it. Even when I don't even know it, God is protecting me. Even through my own frustrations. God, like, girl, haven't I shown you you can trust me? And I was frustrated until I decided to turn to him. Notice that I was creating my own frustrations due to all the things I didn't understand. But the minute I hit pause and I decided to turn to him and ask for guidance, that's all he does. He wants us to come to him. He knows what we need. He sees what we're doing. He's not going to interfere with our free will. But he wants us to come to him. And when we release control and turn to him and submit, All the frustration goes away. All the stress goes away. Even when I was in cancer treatment, once I submitted to God's will, so the cancer had my body, but it did not have my spirit. I think I heard Sarah Jakes Roberts say that. The disease had my body, but it did not have my spirit. It did not take my soul. It did not take my heart. I was still connected to God the entire way. And the sense of peace that came over me once I submitted. And I said, God, I trust you no matter what, no matter the outcome. If you are ready to take me, tell me what you want me to do before I go. Once I turned to him and gave it all to him, the peace I had was beyond understanding while I was still in the storm. Beyond understanding. And he shows me every time, come to me. I got you. They're cleaning my outside. Look at them. About to mop the patio. I love it. It's like 3 or 4 people in here. They'll be in and out in like maybe an hour, less than an hour. Because I don't make that much of a mess. But they still clean anyway. They dust the outside. They wipe off all the seating from the debris. You see them? They clean the debris from all the leaves and the trees. They sweep outside. They mop indoors, outdoors. Complete cleaning, top to bottom, every time. I feel great in my house. Some days I don't go nowhere because I love it inside my house. But anyway, turn to him. Turn to him. Turn to him. Let's see. Shalom said that first agent would have caught them New York hands. I know that's right. I know that's right. Any more cues? Any more cues? God is a protector. Yes. Hallelujah. Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. When they get finished outside, I'm going to go outside so I can get out of their way so they can clean the living room. I'm going to take y'all outside with me. Lena said that would be me with a frog. Girl, that bug scared me to death. No problem. You're fine. Oh, hey, Caroline. Welcome. She said, I can confirm that God blocked my every attempt to move out of my current rented apartment. I was aggressively looking, but nothing at all opened up. See? And we'll get upset because nothing is happening. Things are not moving the way we want them to move. We'll get upset. We'll get frustrated because things are not happening our way on our time. And the whole time, God is protecting us from something that we're not even aware of. Caroline, I hope you are enjoying your rented apartment in Kenya. When it's time, he will help you find whatever it is that you're looking for. Sean said, what's that? Is it a cake? Waffle pastry? Oh, the fruit. No, Sean, this is snake fruit. Snake fruit. It's like an apple. Okay, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna move us outside so they can finish cleaning in here. Get my water and my tea. Okay, I'll move out of your way so you can sweep. Hold on, I'll go outside. Okay. Oh, it's not nice. Here. Thank you so much. Oh, one thing I wanted to let you know. The water in the water in the tap is actually great. So the drinking not should be filled with water. Okay. Chanel says super helpful, awesome. Super helpful. Gail said very helpful, awesome. Tanya says very helpful, awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's helpful. I'm so glad. Every time I come on live or create a video, I always have you all in mind. I don't share just to be sharing. I don't create content just to create content. When I talk numbers, I'm definitely not bragging or trying to present myself as some special person. I always share with the intent of helping you all. I always have my besties in mind before I push live or before I push submit or any recorded video. It's always with the intent of helping. Hey, Miss Geraldine. I found the agent in a group chat. I found her in the Bali group chat. So whatever country you're moving to or thinking about moving to, join as many groups, Facebook groups, WhatsApp group chats, join as many groups that's unique to that country or that city. That is how you're going to find a lot of the information you need, and you're going to connect with a lot of helpful resources. Yeah, Tanya. I was on the back of that bike. I was all on his back. He was like, girl, get off me. But he couldn't speak English, so I didn't know what he was saying. Chanel. Right. That is the sort of thing I was thinking about, contributing to the community rather than, say, a colonizer from the UK. Yeah. Very good point. Very good point. And thank you for that question, because I'll keep that in mind now for myself. If anything, I'll ask, is the owner a local? Yep. Very good point. We do not want to be colonizers. Mm-mm. Helena, you said you emailed me? Emailed me about a month ago via your website and wondering if you interact with followers. Of course. Of course I interact with followers. I don't recall your email though, but absolutely. I always interact with my besties. I don't view you all as followers. You all are my friends. If you love finance, you're a financial bestie. You're a financial friend. So yes. Hi Malika and everyone joining late. Hey Miss Diane, channel member. I'm a sub channel member. Okay, watching the replay. I appreciate you. Heading back to the creator Yelp. It gets tricky because it's peaceful and there's no rushing and can feel stagnant, but I know it's not true. Sean, I'm not understanding some of your comments. Well, thank you, Scorpio Mom. Okay, I think I answered all of the questions. You're welcome, Janice. Very happy for you and all that you accomplished. She said, I'm an inspiration. Oh, thank you. It would make me very, very happy to see you taking action on your goals. I love that I inspire you, but I hope that inspiration turns into action so that you're not just watching others live their dreams. I want you to be able to live your dreams too. I want you to take action. I want you to say, Malika inspired me, but I did the work. And this is how I live now too. I want you to realize your dreams as well. So take that inspiration and turn it into action for me. And that's the update that I want to see. That's the message I want to read. I want to read your message and say, Malika, I moved to Kenya. I moved to Portugal. I moved to Thailand. I moved to Bali. Or I became work optional after I started investing, and I'm not ready to quit my job yet, but I can whenever I want to. I love that. I love that. So turn that inspiration into action. And then we own to something. We own to something. Okay. All right, Sean, I see you. Did you have a question for me? Did you have a question for me? Any other questions? If unless you put a Q in front of it, I didn't see it, Sean. So if you have a question and you didn't put a Q in front of it, I didn't see it. My apologies, but I'm not going to go scrolling for questions without a Q. If I missed it, feel free to post it again. Now I'm at the bottom, so you have my undivided attention. If you have a question. If you don't have any questions, oh, you guys can pretty much see my view from the window here. Y'all see what I'm looking at in the front. This is my view. Hi. So this is kind of how I spend my morning. Either inside, listening to the word on the TV, hearing, starting my day with God's word. And I decide to eat something, either come out here on my patio and I eat while watching YouTube. I watch YouTube like it's TV. Then after I eat, I may decide to go down to the beach, take a walk. My life is pretty leisurely. I don't have any structure. I don't have a schedule. I just do whatever I feel led to do. This is ultimate freedom to me. This is ultimate freedom to me. Having control to decide how you want to spend all 24 hours of your day. I know there were some people in my comments like, oh, you're not retired because you do YouTube. Oh, you're not retired because you coach. You still working. Girl, I don't rely on none of that to pay for my expenses or to maintain my livelihood. I can hit the X on this YouTube video and never post another one, and I'll be okay. I can never get another coaching client and still be okay. More than okay. Maintain my current lifestyle and standard of living. The things I do is because I choose to do it, because I have the free time to do it, because I have the free time to think and to be creative, to think about how I can serve and how I can help. I help you through creating videos. And for those that want that deeper connection, that more strategic guidance, then I invite you into my coaching program. And although the number of people that join coaching is significantly less than the number of people that watch my videos, I choose to dedicate time to help those who want my more hands-on guidance. It's all by choice. You can call it work if you want to, but it's all by choice because I love it. And I can stop doing it at any time. So I'm going to leave you with this. And then I'm going to go cut up a watermelon. If you move abroad, I think it's important that you watch YouTube videos to get insight from people that live in the country that you're living in. But I don't want you to think that how much they pay to live somewhere is what you will pay to live there. I think it's important to plan for your comfort from the start, your desired lifestyle, and not limit yourself to what people on the internet say is cheap or affordable. Because if that's the expectation you have when you get to that country, and your standard of living or your needs are different, you're going to be very, very disappointed. You're going to be very, very disappointed. And I don't want that for you. So watch the YouTube videos, get the advice, listen to other people's experiences, but filter it through your own needs. Like this video, I shared what I spend. Filter it through your own needs. If you don't have the healthcare needs that I have, your expenses are going to be significantly less. If you're okay with living in a guest house, your expenses are going to be significantly less. So even what I say, filter it through your own needs, right? And last thing, you have to align your finances with the life you really want. Not just accepting the bare minimum so you can get by. If you've been working 10, 15, 20 years, why would you plan to retire so you can keep living poor? Why would you plan for your retirement so you can continue for the rest of your life to only be just getting by? At some point, you're going to have to make the decision to say, I want more. So I'm willing to sacrifice for a short period of time so I can get what I really want for the rest of my life. Does that make sense? I know sometimes I tend to simplify things because it's second nature to me, but I really, really try hard to explain things in a way that I hope reaches the people that it needs to reach. You have to make the choice to align your finances with the life you want, not the life you have to settle for. I hope that makes sense. And if your money is not supporting the lifestyle you want, you have to be investing. You have to be investing. There's only so much hustle and grinding and side hustles and remote work you can do. What you gonna do when you turn 60 and 70 and you don't want to work at all anymore? How you gonna bridge the gap then? What you gonna do then? You have to think long term and not just what's right in front of you. Right? I have a free investor guide, free of charge, doesn't cost you anything, for those who want to at least start learning how to invest. And in the investor guide, I share a very, very simple strategy so you can start building the foundation of your portfolio. And I also share, I think, 3 or 4 common mistakes that most investors make. And I help you understand what those mistakes are so that you're not repeating those mistakes that usually lead to significant losses. So all of that is in the investor guide. Let me see if I can grab the link for you. Grab this link for you, and then I'm going to wrap up here. So if you don't have my investor guide, you can get it here. I'll put it on the screen, and I will also put it in the live chat and the description of this video. If you are not investing or you want to invest better, stop gambling. Stop throwing your money away. Stop chasing quick wins, thinking you're going to get rich overnight. You might as well just go to Vegas and bet on black. But if you want to use the stock market properly and start building long term, so when you get into your 60s and 70s, you're not still trying to hustle to make ends meet. You have to start aligning your money with the life you want now. All right. I just put it in the live chat It's on the screen, and I will also put it in the description of this video. So I thank you again for watching. I welcome all of my new subscribers, my new channel members, my new financial besties. If this was helpful, hit the like button. Hit that like button before you go. And feel free to share the video with a friend that may be considering moving abroad, and especially if she's considering moving to Bali, so that she's aware of what the cost of living may be like and how much money she needs to plan for to move and to get settled in. Right? And although a lot of my content is about money, investing, financial freedom, I always want you to know that money is just a tool. It is not something we need to idolize. It is not something we need to praise. It is not something we need to value. Money is just a tool in order to get the things you want. Freedom is the goal. Money is a tool and freedom is the goal. And I personally believe that when you invest, you can own your time and attain that freedom. All right. So with that said, I'm going to say goodbye to my besties. I enjoyed you. Thank you for rocking with me. And it's late on the East Coast. Y'all have a wonderful night. Until next time. Bye for now. I'm going to go eat me some watermelon and take a walk on the beach. Bye, y'all.